everyone, so we're going to go over the special right triangles assignment from yesterday, which went over 30, 60, 90 triangles. So in this lesson, we learned about the 30, 60, 90 degree triangle theorem, and we learned how the length of the hypotenuse is 2 times the length of the shorter leg, and the length of the longer leg is square root of 3 times the length of the shorter leg. Okay, so we have two formulas here, and I want you to notice that the common similarity between these two is that they both have the short leg involved. Okay, so that's going to be opposite your 30-degree angle. So let's look at some examples. So I'll just start off writing my formulas so I know what to expect. So S, and then a long leg is short leg times square root of 3. Okay, so when you're looking at this triangle, picturing which values you need to find, okay, we have x, which is opposite our right angle. Okay, this is always going to be your hypotenuse. 9 right here is opposite our 30-degree angle, so this is our short leg. And last but not least, the last one is our long leg y, okay, and that is because it's opposite that 60-degree angle. So we're given our short leg, and now we need to find our hypotenuse and our long leg. Okay, so either way, we have the short leg, so we can solve either one first. I want to start with my long leg first, just because it's blue. Why not? Okay, so long leg equals our short leg, 9 times the square root of 3. And just so happened, that's the only thing we have to do for our long leg. Okay, for our hypotenuse, we're going to say hypotenuse is 2 times our short leg, which is a value of 9, making the total hypotenuse length, or the value of x, being 18. Moving forward, again, I'll just write these formulas so we get used to seeing them. Okay, long leg is short square root of 3. Okay, so when we're labeling our triangle, the hypotenuse is right here. Our long leg is our missing value, and then our short leg is right here. Again, I'm looking at these angle measurements to line up which leg is which. Okay, so before I get started, I notice I'm given my hypotenuse, okay, but remember, both equations need the short leg. So I can't figure out my long leg length until I have my short leg, because long is short square root of 3. I don't have my short yet, so we have to start with the hypotenuse first. Okay, so we have hypotenuse equals 2s, 2 times the short leg. We're told our hypotenuse is 4 square root of 3. That's 2 times s. Okay, when we solve for our short leg, we are going to reduce this 4 over 2, okay, which becomes 2, and then keep our square root of 3. So that will be our short leg. Okay, so 2 square root of 3 is the length of our short leg. And now that we have our short leg, we can plug that s in for our long leg. So long leg equals short leg, 2 square root of 3, times the square root of 3 from our formula. All right, but now we have this double radical. Okay, we need to solve for our double radical, so that just means square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is the square root of 9, or 3. Another way this could be written is the square root of 3 squared. Okay, when you have an exponent of a 2, a square, and a radical with no defined index, then these two actually cancel out. So the square root of 3 squared is just 3. Okay, so finishing our equation, we have 2 times 3, which will give us a total long leg length of 6. Okay, and moving on to our last problem from the assignment. Okay, we have a 40-foot long escalator rising from the first floor to the second floor of a shopping mall. The escalator makes a 30-degree angle with the horizontal. Okay, so that's talking about this guy right here. How many feet above the first floor is the second floor? Okay, so we have a 30-degree angle. We have this 90-degree angle created with the ground and the vertical line. Okay, so here we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, which means this side here is going to be our short side because it is opposite our 30 degrees. And here we have our hypotenuse, okay, And remember, with a 30, 60, 90, hypotenuse equals 2 times our short leg. Good thing is, we are looking for that short leg. So let's plug in the information they give us. 40 equals 2 times our short leg. You divide both sides by 2, and you'll get S equaling 20. So the escalator is 20 feet from the ground, from first floor to second floor. Right, and one thing I wanted to go over quickly before we started on the 45, 45, 90 part of the review. On today's assignment, the combination 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90, you have this example where you'll have to work backwards. So this was a value of 16. And here are your formulas you'll need. So leg is short square root of 3. Okay, so in this case, we were asked to find the value of x. Okay, so x is my long leg. I'm given my hypotenuse of 16. Okay, but in this case, in order to find our long leg, first we actually need to know what our short leg is. But we don't have that information, not given to us at least. Okay, another way you can find your short leg, look here, with your hypotenuse formula, the short leg is involved. So if we start backwards and start with the hypotenuse, we'll be able to get the short leg so that we can plug it in for the long. Okay, so what I mean by that, I'm going to say 16 equals 2 times my short leg, because again, I need to know this first before I can work with my long leg second. Okay, so to find my short leg, I divide both by 2. S equals 8. Okay, so now knowing that my short leg equals 8, I can plug that in for my long leg and say long leg equals 8 times square root of 3. And this would be your answer for that question on today's assignment. And last but certainly not least, we will go a quick review over the 45, 45, 90 triangles. So that is when you have a right triangle, okay, that has two 45-degree angles. Okay, and so with the 45, 45, 90, the two legs, right, that are adjacent to the right angle, okay, they are congruent, okay, so our legs are congruent, and then in order to find the hypotenuse, we can say that the hypotenuse is equal to the leg length times square root of 2, okay, so what that looks like in a question, if hypotenuse is leg square root of 2, then we can say that here we have our two legs that are congruent. So y automatically has to be equal to 8 square root of 2. And then our hypotenuse x, we can say h equals 8 square root of 2, that leg length, times the square root of 2. And like on our example earlier, we need to combine or simplify these two radicals. So the square root of 2 squared becomes 2. Again, that's because it's the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, which is the square root of 4, and that is a value of 2. Okay, so our hypotenuse equals 8 times 2, or a total length of 16. And our last example here, we'll rewrite our equation again, L square root of 2. Okay, so here we have one leg length and the other leg length. Conveniently, we need to find both of them. Knowing I have a 45, 45, 90, both legs are congruent. Okay, so this is my hypotenuse. And in order to find a leg length, we just need to substitute our hypotenuse into the equation. Okay, leg square root of 2. All right, we need to get this L by itself. So we divide both by square root of 2. And then over here, just like we did on this right side, we could actually cancel these out, okay, because you have one radical on top of the other and they are the same. If we did not have these radicals on top of one another, we would actually have to do what is called rationalizing, and we've talked about this before, where you multiply the radical in order to get it off the bottom. However, because we have both radicals the same, one on top of the other, we can just save some time and cancel it out. Okay, so leg equals 18. And that would go for both x and y.